take over. Hey, Andy and Jamie, how's Thursday treating
Hey Scott, thank you. Pretty good, pretty good. Actually, really good today. I know a lot of the traders were doing well here at Trade Ideas. Hopefully, you guys are doing the same. Jamie, how are you, buddy? How are you?
Doing well, doing well. Yeah, a
All
nice
right.
green day, a lot of upside, not a lot of give back, so good deal.
Yeah, yeah. I tell you, when I see some of the stuff, I always get a little cautious. It's like I pretty much cleared the decks today, just because I've had nice profits, and probably my weakness is sometimes getting out of things too quick. But when I see some of the percentage gains, man, I just can't help it. But we'll talk about more of that and trading strategies coming up. Let's get going here, guys. Thank you, everybody. It looks like a great crowd. We've had a great crowd every day this year so far. So let's dive in. Before we do, let's go over the disclaimer here. Okay, we are content publishers. This is for educational purposes only. All right, Jamie and I are going to be talking about some strategies, possibly showing you some stocks and marking them up or whatever, but just nothing should be construed as investment advice. That's not what we're trying to do. If you are seeking that type of information, you want to find somebody who's licensed in that capacity, whether it be a stockbroker or registered advisor, somebody who can legally give you that information. Okay, here's the agenda for today. We're going to do the market recap. Not going to be a whole lot to say about it. Anytime you're on all-time highs, there's not very much dissecting to do, but we will definitely talk about that a little bit. Holly recap kind of the same way. Holly's been doing great lately, but for some reason today, just kind of a ho-hum day. So Jamie will touch on a few of the trades in that. I tell you what, I definitely have some content for today, and I can always get more content, but boy, we have just been inundated with questions the first three webinars this week. So I want to make sure we get all your questions answered. So what I have here, I put together an RSI top list. I think it's good sometimes just to take a look at some of the stocks that are showing, relative strength. I use this a lot to maybe find areas on a pullback where I might be looking to enter a stock. Don't want to chase it, obviously, when it's overbought and exhibiting all that strength. I'll just kind of wait for a pullback. I do that quite a bit. So we'll take a look at some stocks and give you some ideas of how you can build these top lists. And then I'm going to talk about SPACs, special purpose acquisition companies. They've really been hot lately. We've actually created a channel for you guys to check out, and I would spend some time in that channel, or I'm going to also share with you a SPAC watcher that I built today that will help you, maybe identify some opportunity when you're playing that area. And and I'll talk about SPACs and what exactly they are. I know some of you guys probably never heard of them. But boy, it was a big year for them in 2020, and I don't see it slowing down anytime soon. So I think it would behoove you to keep an eye on these things, because you can definitely get some. Let's see, Larry. All right, so let's go on now. I do want to talk about our 5-star support in education and training. I want to make sure all the new traders, we had a lot to join in over the holidays. I just want to make sure you're taking advantage of all of our resources we have available for you. You can look along the left side there. You can see we have all these webinars in the afternoon, the same time slot as this one. It's 5 Eastern time. We do them Monday through Thursday. We do encourage questions, Q&A, some interaction. And then we also have the traders room. Barry is really he not only trades in there, he likes to help those who need help with the software, and he tells me all the time, hey, send them my way. I can show them. So obviously a lot of people are in there trading, but at the same time, he's in there for a long period of time. He doesn't mind taking some time to help you with your questions. And then the biggest one is down at the bottom there. You see the support webinar. This is every Friday, every Monday through Friday at 12 Eastern time. That thing's been getting bigger and bigger too. So people are utilizing that. That's a good thing, because I can't think of a better place for Q&A, because we have a desktop sharing, so we can actually demonstrate when you ask questions. So that is a big advantage than just sending in an email and trying to read an answer. It's so much easier when you're demonstrating it using the desktop sharing. All right. I think this is for Scott, so I'll save this one. I'll back out now, and I will pull up the old SPY real quick. And as you can see, I usually don't have this RSI. It's not something I use a whole lot on a chart, but I did throw one in there today. So just bear with me as I go through because I'm not going to spend a lot of time at this today anyway, just because. Take a look at the SPY, and you can see we are at all-time highs. So there's not a whole lot to say here, guys. We're just chugging right along. We're pretty much starting the year where it finished off last year, moving higher. A lot of, don't try to read too much into this, and it's really hard when you have a lot of macro news out there with what's going on with the election and different things, but just try to focus on the price action. It's really easy to get caught up in what you think the price action should do, and that's not your job as a trader. It's definitely okay to anticipate and maybe have some inclinations, but don't react based on what you think. Okay, always let price action confirm your ideas. But anyway, not a lot to say here, guys. We're just at all-time highs. We're above obviously, if you're at all-time highs, you're going to be above all your moving averages. I guess if you're, the only thing you probably could say right here is we had a nice little break of this range here. So hopefully you'd kind of like to stay above that area. If you don't, there's a good chance you're going to catch these moving averages right here and pop back up. So Jamie, man, there's just not a whole lot to say. I will pull up the Qs because they are just at it right now, so they're not as far as I guess that would be an all-time close there. So yes, we are at all-time highs in the Qs. Pull up the IWM real quick, and look at there, Jamie. They finally fought back and got to all-time highs. It's just amazing. They lagged for a long time, but boy, they finally pulled it off. Oh gosh, I don't know what I did here. Okay. All right. Anything you want to add, Jamie, to the market recap?
Nope. But I mean, that IWM was the last shoe to fall, and it's finally fallen, and the junk is running, and who knows how long it's going to last. But
it's true.
We've all got front row seats.
Yeah, like I said, there's not a whole lot to dissect when everything's on all-time highs. So not everything, but every major index, I should say. So we're just at all-time highs.
That is true.
So if you want to take it over, or you got something else to add?
No, I was just going to say I'll go ahead and grab it because the Holly recap's going to be pretty short and sweet today.
That's fine.
Well, and I think everybody can see my screen now.
Yep, we got it.
Okay, so here I have the Holly blotter, or the AI All Trades blotter. And typically what we like to do is check out the spread that develops between moderate profit and conservative profit. But as you can see here, sorting by moderate profit, 63, 68, we got a $10, we got about a 30-something spread here. And that's about the extent of it, a little bitty, tiny bit of spread here. But nothing like what we're used to seeing. Usually there's one with a 2 or 3x spread in there, and sometimes multiple ones. So as far as conservative and moderate profit spread, not a whole lot to take a look at today. In addition to that, some of the other things that I like to discuss typically are the trade arounds, which are trades that the AI gets stopped out of, but then the pivot line, or the stop area, ends up acting as a decent pivot area, okay, for maybe trying a second entry. And as we can see here from the aggressive profit, keeping in mind that I've got my stop losses at $100 per trade, and you can see that in the moderate field over here. But if we can tell that the number is larger over here and aggressive, which means they didn't bounce off of those pivots. So let's just look at an example of one that obviously did not work. CPST right here. We had the buy signal coming in. Oops, that's not my crayon. There we go, right there. Sashay on down to that stop area, and boom, hits it in the following 15-minute candle. And did it act as a pivot or a backstop? No, it did not. Closes below and just a steady downturn. So not a whole lot in the way of conservative moderate profit spread, not a whole lot in the way of trade arounds. However, these two up top here were very interesting, and let me expand on that. And what I mean by that is, let's just look at CLNE first. And some of you who were in the live support session this morning may have heard me talking about this one. It looks very similar to some of the plays that we've seen Holly produce in the past, where we anticipate a secondary pattern unfolding on top of the AI signal. So here we can see the original AI signal right there, 1045 buy. And then what kind of action do we have after that? Just almost an all-day consolidation. So typically what we'll get is we'll get something like this with the anticipation, hey, if we go a little sideways action right here, we can see that wick right there in the third bar, which is the high. I've drawn the line there, and anticipate a secondary pattern unfolding in the form of an opening range break. This one just took its sweet time, okay? I even set a price alert for this one and missed it. I got distracted in the latter part of the day, but as you can see, all day almost, and then finally, right here, we did break that range and got up a little bit. Now this one just happens to be enjoying a little bit of post-market goodness, as we can see here. But the concept is the same, right? We've got statistical viability from Holly, number one. How was the volume in CLNE today? Well above average, finished today at 2.7 on the relative scale. And this one, you know, as long as we were patient, opportunity for a second entry or maybe a first entry if you didn't take it over here. But a nice opportunity to leverage that position. And I do believe CLNE is also at all-time highs. We got this little inverted, or no, that is a horseshoe there, kinda. All right, leading on back up to all-time highs. So a strong close for CLNE and some secondary opportunity here after the AI signal. Let's see, LAC, kind of similar. It also took its sweet time today. Very similar to what we see in CLNE. An all-day consolidation here, all-day consolidation here, with a little bit of juice finally at the end. Of course, this was the close, unless you had planned on holding this one into the close. Not a whole lot of opportunity there. So, hate to cut the Holly recap short here, but we can only talk about what happened, and it was just kind of a pretty lackluster day for Holly. You know, looking over here at the channel bar, 1.0 did some good. Neo got beat up a little bit. So in other words, down about 20 bucks gross. So if we're trading 100 shares, so just kind of a flat do nothing day for Holly. But she has been turning in some nice results over the past couple of weeks.
That she
And it's
has.
just having her off day today. You know, this is a perfect testament, Andy. You know, a lot of the times we as traders hitting manual trades struggle when we're at all-time highs, and here we see a statistical machine pretty much doing the same type of thing. You know, we're at all-time highs, and that's great for psychological reasons, but these all-time highs, when we're just getting out, they're not the easiest trading days, right? You would think it would be the opposite, but it's not, right? So,
Right.
you know, for me, I think I would focus on the laggers that are out there that have yet to break out, right? In the meantime, until we get a little bit more of a direction. You know, a lot of these stocks are lagging. You know, the bigger caps are the head of the snake, but of course that body wiggles and wiggles, and the body has to catch up to the head. So I think there will be a couple of, I don't know, maybe weeks here where a lot of these stocks are playing catch up. So it's still kind of more or less a stock picker's market at this time.
You're
But
correct.
that's about all the ramblings I got for now.
Yep, we can pass it over, and you're right. That's why Dawn of the Dead has been doing so good over the last couple of months.
Yep.
Yep, for sure. All right, let me zoom this down a little bit. And first, I wanted to talk about RSI, and to answer your question there, and see how do you control the size of the desktop when creating when it opens from the channel in the you can't. Okay, those are templates inside these channels. Okay, so you cannot control how they open. In other words, if you want them to cover your whole desktop, there's not a whole lot you can do. Now you can take them and you can make them big, and you can create it however you want, but you have to save it. You have to go to File and then save that layout under in your own server or to the cloud. You cannot save it as a channel. That makes sense there for you. It looks like Jamie was answering while I was answering it. All right, and like I said, there's some questions starting to come in. You're welcome. Let's see. Quality of it. Yeah, Jamie's good with that quality. He can probably tell you that there in the chat, or unless if he wants to tell you verbally here, he could do that as well. But
yeah, I'll just jump in here. Quality column is always going to show you the value or the metric for the alert that you're using. So in other words, if you were using new high in the quality column, it would show you, okay, this is a 2-day high, 10-day high, 5-day high. Let's say you're using 25% pullback from the highs. It would show you the value of the pullback. So depending on the alert, the quality column will feed you the specific metric attached to that alert.
Interesting.
So hopefully that makes sense.
Yep, does makes perfect sense. All right, guys. So RSI, it's something. I think it's something you should pay attention to. It's and I built a little top list here just so you guys can kind of see. I like to do this a lot of times so people can see the functionality of a top list and how incredible it can be when you're taking advantage of the power of columns versus trying to put too many filters in there. If you look at this list right here, you're going to see if I go into my Windows specific filters, you can always hit hide unused, and what that'll do, it'll hide everything that's not being used as a filter or a column. So in this one, I am using a kind of a market cap one on this one. I'm looking for 4 billion or higher, so I'm looking for really liquid stocks when I'm doing this, because if I don't use a market cap one, I'm going to get a lot of stuff in there that's just flying over the next, had news and just had a huge day or two. I'm looking for things that are showing more strength based upon a 14 period is what we use, RSI. So we'll take a look at that, but you can see here, that's it. That's all the filters I'm using, just an average daily volume and a market cap, and I'm just daily RSI above 70. Which I really wouldn't have to use this technically because I'm sorting by my RSI. So if I'm sorting by RSI, all the strong ones are going to be up top anyway, but that just makes it kind of simple for me. But RSI, what is RSI? It's basically a momentum indicator, and it measures the magnitude of a recent, change in price over a certain period of time. Like I said, we use 14, and most people do use a 14 period. It's basically, like I said, an oscillator that evaluates overbought and oversold conditions, but you really have to be careful with those terms because you never want to short a stock just because it's overbought, and you never want to buy a stock just because it's oversold, okay? Because look at the name alone. It's a relative strength indicator. It's measuring the amount of strength in this stock. So there's a lot of strength in these. Let's look at the top one here, Mr. And you can see here on my daily chart, let me just bring it down. So there we go. So you can kind of see the move there. It's got an RSI of 84, okay? Tesla, we all know Tesla's on the move. RSI is 74. I'm surprised that's not even higher, but nonetheless, yeah, look at it gapping up again. This thing wants to go back to 1,000, Jamie.
And it probably will.
It probably will, yeah. Just crazy. I think I read today where that is pre-split, that is up like pre-split, the price would be over $4,000 now. And it's just crazy, just mind-boggling. But anyway, so these are nice to have, and it's nice to have and just being part of your arsenal. Just you can have it, in your cloud, just pull it up maybe once a day or even once a week to see where there is huge relative strength. Now, I don't use this to like I said, to find shorts, that's for sure. I'm mostly looking this to find idea for longs and not to so much chase the momentum, but at some point, this will get overbought bought. I mean, I know a lot of people think Tesla's never going to go down again, and it feels that way, but no, they will. And it's always nice, to maybe drop some lines. Maybe this one right here, this bill. I think this thing may retrace to this breakout level. I could come in here, just put me a little price alert it. I'm going to change it to long here, and then now I'll be notified if this next couple of days this thing pulls back and it goes off, and I can pull it up and make my decision. And it's amazing. A lot of times, I used to, before I had price alerts, I would just put bids in, and then I used to call them "oh crap" bids. And because what happens is you forget about it, and the next thing you know, you look down your blotter and you got a new position. And it's amazing how the percentage return on those it was incredible, because the winning rate was, because it just, you're taking advantage. Everybody's selling, and you're finding nice little levels and maybe moving averages, and the next thing you know, you're in a stock. But now with price alerts, it's so easy just to set one in there, and I can pull up the market and look at the volume and see what's happening and make my decision, whether I want to buy or not. But this is how I would use something like this. And like I said, I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time on this because it's pretty basic. It's just showing you, the strongest stocks in the market based upon, RSI. Now I could pull up others that have had much bigger of a move, but as far as RSI concerned, using the filters that I'm using, these are exhibiting the most relative strength in the market right now, with market cap over 4 billion. Okay, Taiwan Semi seeing a lot of semi sector stocks are ripping. Look at there, man. You got refinery, man, and oil refinery, blending, whatever that is. Vail, you seen Vail? I think I saw Cliff in here earlier today. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff happening. So what I'm gonna do, guys, I already saved it over here, so I'm gonna go ahead and save this for you and share it for those who want it. And it'll give you, and also got some score components in there and some changes from the 10. I got two. Oh, that's from 10 SMA. So let me go to, I'll drop it into the chat window, guys, and I'll just put RSI, and there you go. Yeah, Sebastian, that's it's kind of, like I said, like Jamie said earlier, a lot of times it's, it's like a trader. I can remember my days as a day trader. There would be days that just went straight up and I didn't make that much money. There was days that I went sideways and I killed it, So, so it's, like Jamie says, it's just, it depends on what triggers and stuff like this. I don't know what's going on right there. Somebody trying to steal our webinar there.
What are you seeing?
Something just popped up here, like, and go to webinar. I hope is Mike. Oh, hopefully we don't lose something. That was strange. Go ahead.
Real quick here, I was just checking out Jeffrey's question. I'm not sure I understand it. Do you have to have the Billy chart active to get an alert?
Do I have to have the Billy chart? So I guess I'm assuming I pulled it up. Yeah, this one. Oh, no, you do not. No, you do not have to have the chart up. Let me see if I, BILI, was it? Yeah, I stick alert in there. No, you do not have, you have to have the software up and running, obviously. But what'll happen is if no matter what I have on my computer, on my desktop here, as far as trade ideas goes, it's going to, the price alert is going to pop up pretty much like this does right here, and it's going to flash for me and let me know that a price alert has triggered. So you can't miss it because it pops right up in the middle of your screen and flashes yellow. So you can't miss it. And you can have up to 500 price alerts in any given time. Yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome, Jeffrey. All right, moving on here because I wanted to spend more time on SPACs. All right, so what are SPACs? All right, You've probably been hearing a lot about them in 2020 because there's been a lot to come to the market. And we do have a channel on it. It's called SPACs, Blank Check Companies. And that blank check company, the blank check part will become more clear as I kind of give you a definition of a SPAC and what exactly it does. So basically, a SPAC is what they call, it stands for Special Purpose Acquisition Company. All right. Which basically means the key word there is acquisition. Okay, so they're looking to make an acquisition. Okay, so these people, they have no operations at all whatsoever as far as like a company assets and all that, running a company. They're basically raising capital to buy companies and take them public. Okay, so very interesting concept. It's really hot right now, and there's been a lot of really good profits to be made as far as trading these things. I know Dan has done pretty well with them, our CEO. I haven't been, well, it's funny, a lot of times you may trade them and not even know that you're trading them. As a matter of fact, I made an Extreme Master Blaster earlier in the day and put it on all SPAC, and a lot of the same symbols were coming. So you're more than likely, if you're a day trader, you traded a lot of these and don't even know that they were SPACs. So what they do is basically it's almost like a venture capitalist that is looking to make an acquisition with the money it raises, and they have 2 years to actually make this acquisition. So it's not something they have to do right away. So you may be buying a company that doesn't do anything for a while, but nonetheless, it's been a hot market. And yes, guys, spend some time in it. We have it. It's called that SPACs Blank Check. Okay, now the blank check should probably make it more clear to you, okay, because they can raise a lot of capital and they can basically have a blank check to do what they want to do with that capital as far as acquisition goes. Now, a lot of them, they do come into the market with plans. In other words, they have a plan on who exactly they're looking for to buy, but some don't. They have an idea and they may have a sector that they're looking at, but they may not know who they're going to buy at the time. So anyway, what I did is I created my little SPAC watcher here, and you're going to see something similar to this when you go to the SPACs Blank Check. You're going to see something very similar to this. It's going to be a top list, and what I want to do was build you something that had that was a little more compatible with configuration and being able to use the columns to your advantage. And what I mean by that is, once again, let's go in here and look at the configuration, okay? And that's it. The only filter I am using in here is it has to be trade above 300,000 shares a day. I don't want these ones that there's some out there that trade 10 or 15,000 shares. I can't do anything with that. I need at least a 300,000 share a day average. But that's the only filter, okay? And in symbol list, we have a blank check symbol list. And the way you can find that, just go to add existing list. Okay, you probably need to scroll down. It's probably going to be, well, since I used mine, yeah, let's see. Since I used mine, it probably took it up higher. There it is, blank check. That's what you want to look for. So you can take any filter that you have, any window that you have, whether it be an alert window, a top list, and you could put a check mark right there and say only the following list in the drop down box, and it's only going to look for these blank check companies. Okay, so that's all I did there. And let me just go ahead and cancel so I don't screw anything up. Oh, and then I just used the power of columns. And what do I mean by that? Well, I have mine sorted right now. Well, let's just take a look. It's always good for you to see the sort. Okay, change from close. Okay, so this is automatically going to put the stocks that are up most on the day are going to be at the top of this list, the way it's sorted right now. That's a beautiful breakout right there, and that one this morning. So, but let's say you're taking a look at this and you're like, well, maybe I want to find those that are near all-time highs. Well, we got position and year range. Now you could probably take this, probably need to make a column for position and lifetime range, but this will at least give you the ones that are and there's PEC again. And there's, look at that one, trying to break out right now. So this one may be one to watch tomorrow. It got just above on the close there and closed at a 52-week high. So you might want to keep that on your radar tomorrow if you're trading these things. There's another one. So all of these are going to be, you know, when I'm sorting by position in year range, you can see these are gonna, at the top, are gonna all be close. Wow, look at the volume coming in that one. It's one you might want to set an alert in case it pulls back. I'll do this a lot during the day. Anytime I'm looking at stocks and I see something that's exhibiting big volume and strong, I say, well, this thing's probably gonna get tired. I'm gonna throw an alert in there, see if I can't get something. There's a nice one right there, trading near all-time highs. You might want to watch that tomorrow. As a matter of fact, I'll put alert on that one as well. Now, I'm not going to share these alert guys, but I will share the window with you so you can go through and do this yourself. All right, let's say you want to maybe find stocks that are trading near their 10-period moving average. Okay, the 10-period moving average is kind of a momentum line, we like to call it. Me and Steve always called it at Today Trader. We called it the fast line. And so all you have to do is come in here, and I have a change from 10-day SMA. Let's sort by that. Okay, you can see PEC is way above its 10-period moving average. But what if I scroll down and I found the zeros, or those near the zeros, and I can find these ones that are, you know, trading right at their 10-period moving average, which might be interesting. Okay, I love stocks that are, you know, that had momentum. This one's kind of sloppy, not a good example, but are pulled back and maybe just sitting along their 10-period moving average. Now, trust me, a lot of these things are probably going to develop better as far as pullback goes once we get a little pullback in the market. So you be careful when that's an interesting right there. See, a lot of trading is homework, guys. And if you build top lists, so you can see, I have this set for live during market hours. So what happens is when the market closes, all these symbols freeze in here for me. Okay, it's what I like about top lists. And then you can come through and use these different columns to and Jamie, by the way, stop me if anytime you have any questions that I need to address. I'm gonna get me a drink of water real quick. So yeah, live during market hours, you're going to find pretty much all my top lists are going to be set on, because that's when I like to do my homework. You know, I can come in here and I can find, you know, stocks that it's another pretty one right there, you know, although it really hasn't had a whole lot of movement over the last month, so I'm probably going to leave that alone. That's the one I just marked up.
All right, I seem to have dropped connection, but I'm back now.
Oh, okay. I was talking to you, but I was just, Andy created another. Well, Mike, I don't know about that.
The SPAC question, you know, how do we know it's a SPAC? Most of these are going to say Acquisition Corp in the title. Of course, every once in a while it won't be in there, but if you look at the description, typically, or the profile, you can ferret out that information.
Yep. That's right. Take a look at the profile. You're right. It's hard just by seeing the symbol. You're not going to be able to tell. And trust me, like I said, most of us have probably traded them and don't even realize it. Yeah, if you can't see it in the detail, this is actually a pink sheep. So yeah, always I'm a little bit careful with that. But most of them are going to trade like on the NASDAQ, and they may say something like holding companies in the title. Acquisition, so you may be able to tell it, and there's another acquisition, so you can look at the title and probably get a lot of them, but if you can't, just go to the profile and just read it real quick, and it'll tell you kind of what they're looking to do. All right, let me see if there's anything else I wanted to talk about this. I wanted to spend a little bit just on coloring, because I know this is, and Jamie's better at this than I am, but what I did on change from the close is one I like to maybe color code a lot, and I just want to take you through a really easy way if you want to color code a column. And I do have this saved, so I won't mess this up. But let's say I wanted to color code this change in 5 days. Okay, right now it's color coded along with the default setting that I use for just my basic color code. But let's say I wanted to actually this change in 20 days. I'm not liking the way that looks. It's not telling me anything. But let me get a fresh one. I'd rather do a fresh one. So let's do this change in 5 days. And let's say I wanted to color code this column, just kind of like I did the same change from the close. See, that's a nice blend of greens. Let's say I wanted to do the same thing with this change in 5 days. What you would want to do is right click in the column. All right, custom colors. Okay, just find the little prism looking thing there. And you're going to have this, and trust me, I'm still not very good with this, but I know enough to know I can do columns, and that's probably the only thing I really use it for. So if I want to do a color scheme for this change in 5 days, what I want to do is think of 5 breakpoints. Okay, you want to find some breakpoints. Okay, so right now I'm looking at this is up 162%. That's pretty big. That's abnormal. Okay, it's not too many stocks you're going to find up 162%. But I'm seeing some 70. Let's see, 30. So let's say by looking at this, let me just go with up. Let's go up 40. Okay, that's going to be my first breakpoint, and I'm just going to add it. And you want to have them kind of evenly. And what's the word I'm looking for? Evenly dispersed. In other words, they keep it the same flow. So in other words, if I went to 20, okay, that's now I'm using kind of a 20, so I'm just going to keep that same flow going. So now I'm going to go to 0 and kind of see what I'm doing here. And now I'm going to go to -20. Of course, then you'll find the ones that are down, but that's okay. We're going to do it anyway. -20, and then we're going to use -40. All right, so I got, oh wait, that right? Yeah. All right, so I got a color scheme here. All right, and let's say I wanted to use this one right here. So all I would do is just click on this, and it's going to color it for me. Okay, if I didn't like the way it looked, I could flip colors. Okay, but I do like the way it looked to begin with because I want the ones up more, obviously darker green, and they're going to fade off into an ugly little red, the ones that are down. Okay, once I got it like that, I just click OK, and now you can see I have all this color scheme. So you can quickly look at a color, and if I see something dark green, I know that's had a huge move without even pulling it up on the chart. Okay, and I can see the pinks and reds, and I don't think we're going to see anything down 40% in this, but I do definitely see something down 23%. This SPAC is not doing too good. Ooh, ready for a bounce? Looks pretty tasty right there. Now wait a minute. Okay, yeah, it's only doing 48,000. It's still barely maintaining the filter to stay in here. Remember, I put a filter of over 300,000, but boy, this volume has really decreased over the last, several weeks, couple of weeks here. So I would be careful with something like that for sure. I may have to jack that up. All right, so let me go ahead and share this, and I'm not going to share it with this 5-day when I have one saved in here already, so you guys could take a look at this and play around with it and find you some opportunity on these SPACs. And SPAC Watcher right there. I'll share, copy all. Great for homework, guys, these things. SPAC. All right, there you go. I dropped it into the chat window so you guys can have access to it. And just a reminder for anybody in here that doesn't have Trade Ideas, what I'm doing is I'm dropping the cloud codes for these windows. And anybody that is a user of Trade Ideas can automatically just grab that cloud link and they'll have access to these windows that I'm sharing. So it's a real nice feature we have at Trade Ideas. All right, one thing I wanted to do, and I'm probably not going to have time to do it today because I see the questions coming in and I know what Jamie feels like. I need to help him answer some of these questions, but I do want to go over. We had a little contest, not really a contest, but people giving us ideas of price alerts. And I want to bring it up and see if I can go to the last. There they are right there. And I will say this, David B, I don't know if he's in here, had one for Riot on this day right here, a price alert that went off and triggered it. And look at that, man, up 139%. So nice call
Bravo.
yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one. A few other here, Bill E had one of 12.33%. Then a couple of Vail Wally had a nice one in Vail right there, and looks like this thing have some more room to go. So a nice call for him. And like I said, I'll probably resume these next week. Clear my price alerts out and have these ready. Let's see. Randy W had a nice little 10% winner there. But some nice jobs. David B definitely takes home the prize if there was one for Riot. So that was a nice call by David B. And I'll start these up next week again. It's kind of fun. And not only that, give some nice little price alerts. I share these with everybody so you guys can all see how you're comparing with the competition out there. And not only that, get some good ideas. Get some good ideas for trading, like this Riot right here. See? And if you guys would have copied down these price alerts, you would have been notified of that. But that's pretty much all I had today, because I knew we'd have a lot of questions. Jamie has been, yeah, that was a real scream. No lie, Dave. That was a good one. All right, let me make sure we guys, hit me up with any questions that you might have. And Jamie, if you think I need to talk more about something, let me know. Let's see.
Yeah, we're pretty caught up here. Let's see.
Rounded bottom. That rounded bottom is, you can find it in the Trader's Vault.
Now, is that the daily version? Because they were wanting a 5-minute version.
Oh, a 5-minute version? No, I don't think. I don't have a 5-minute version. Yeah, that's more of a swing trade type. Mike Noss uses that for swing trading, and it's a pretty good one. And it's once again, you can find it in the Trader's Vault, along with some other good ones in there. Let me just pull it up real quick, and I'll show you. Because if you haven't been in there, you want to get in here. These are our favorite windows from the traders here at Trade Ideas. And I will tell you right now, this bottom line right here are great swing trading candidates, or can give you some nice candidates. So take a look at that. There's rounded bottom. Okay, one of my favorite ones is revenue growth fishing right there. Bullish daily candlesticks can be a good one. Okay, there's a rounded bottom that Michael Noss likes to use. Pull back above 50 SMA. This is another good one. So these are all really, really good. Bull flag daily setup. You're not going to see a whole lot in there, but when you do, take it. Might want to take a gander. When you see these guys and you want them, okay, so what you do is if you see something in here, like here's Master Blaster, and you want Extreme Master Blaster, and if you want to just go ahead and open it up like that, you want to take it off small borders so you can see the what type of window it is. This is a multi-strategy window. And then when you get it like you like it, just go right click and save or share to cloud, and just click on save, and this will save it to your cloud so you can go back to your default layout and then pull them up from there. So there's some good ones. There's some really good ones in there. So be sure, if you haven't ventured into this Trader's Vault, you have the key, so get in there. All right, let me see if any more questions are coming through. What channel was that? It's right here. It's called the Trader's Vault. Let me show you again. I have it on, so just look for the key. Look for the key right there, and you will see it. Great channel.
Hey, Andy, I know somebody was asking for revenue growth fishing, and I
Mm-hmm.
dumped that cloud link into the panel.
Okay.
But what didn't you have another one that was called Let's Go Fishing? I can't remember if that was a bottom. Was
Yeah,
that
let's
picking
go.
bottoming
Yeah,
stocks?
let's go fishing is very similar to revenue growth fishing. It doesn't have a revenue component in it, like everything you see in this one right here. The revenue growth fishing, it's going to have big revenue growth. It has to be over 20. Okay, so a lot of times you're going to find some really good plays in this. Now, I have to admit, for some reason this works better for me when the market is pulling back. Because when I see the market pulling back and I see this populating, this tells me it's near a 10-day high. Okay, it's been beaten up over the last 3 months, but it's at a 10-day high. And anytime I see relative strength like that, stocks exhibiting strength in a down market, especially if they have good revenue, that tells me they're kind of under, acquisition as far as people buying up the stock. So that doesn't mean it can't work for sure, in this type of market, but for some reason it works good when the market is pulled back, for me anyway. You're welcome. That is Trader's Vault. There are 2 top list and squeeze channel.
I was just looking at those, and from my observation, the Squeeze Me, that one is asking for a short float of at least 20%, whereas there is no minimum for short float in the short squeeze.
Okay, so that's what it is. The float one.
Wait, actually, that's a 20. It's mandating a 20. Yeah, okay, 20% there. Maybe I've got that backwards. Right. Okay, so in the Squeeze Me, I'm not seeing any. No, they're both 20%. It's just that short squeeze up top is also asking for a low float.
A low float. Okay.
Well, no, I take that back. They're both short float of 20%. Which one has the low float, though? I think it might be the other one. Right. Okay, so the bottom one, Squeeze Me, is also saying 20 million shares max in the float. So it's going to be looking for the lower float or the lower floats.
There you have it. So that we should probably put that in the title. Maybe I'll make a note for Brad.
Yeah, Squeeze Me is low float.
Yeah. Okay. Lenny, I'm not sure what you're referring to there. It did not upload any stock on the window when I click on it. Are you talking about in the chart? It did. When you clicked on something, you're not getting something to come in the chart. Okay, always try this. This is good for everybody to know. Okay, if you're seeing your charts not pull up data, first thing you want to do is go to account, all right, and reset connection. Just click on reset connection, and you can do that up to 4 times. I think we have 4 servers, main servers, so you can click on that, and that should fix it. Okay, make sure you're showing you're connected. You always want to look. Anytime you have a problem, you want to make sure you're getting a milliseconds, the latency thing right there. You want to make sure the green dot and the connection line is blinking, and you should be good. And if you have all that working and you go through that reset connection a few times and still not getting, then you may have to you may have another problem. You may have to get a tech involved. Yeah. As far as the AI goes, you can go to this Omni channel right here, and you can see all 3 hollies. And the way you see them, if you look at these strategy trades, it has all. So you're going to get every trade to come through there. Okay. You're not going to see all the AI strategy tabs, okay, or windows. It's just going to be one, but it's going to also be on all. So That's just a portion of it anyways. But yeah, if you're on the Omni channel, you're going to see all the trades come through. No, you're not going to be able to get a 10-second candle, Luis. Not with, no, we don't have, our shortest candles are 1 minute. Oh, we got a big long one coming in here.
I just saw that one. Right. The when you open up the channels, they're specifically designed to be small and up in the corner, just to accommodate various. Everybody's got different size monitors, so you can expand it, you can retool it, and then save it as a layout. But all the channels are always going to pop back up in the small square.
Yeah, that's true. If that bothers you, you can always, just create your own by, expanding everything out. You can expand out the charts, drag, just use your cursor, drag everything around, put in more charts if you want to, but just, you got to make sure this will not save in the channels. Okay. The channels are going to default back to the original size. So if you make a change to one of these channels and you want to save it, just go to File and then Save Layout, and then just give it a name. You call it Whopper channel, whatever channel it is, and just make sure you save it on your server or in your cloud. You can also do that in the cloud as well.
Yeah, and as far as consolidating all of the, I think it was the M windows, multi-strategy windows. The multi-strategy window is designed so that you can take multiple alert windows and copy those into the multi-strat windows, so you don't have to watch multiple alert windows. Now, if you go packing too many strategies into a multi-strat window, you're going to have a data stream that's moving so fast, you're not going to be able to make sense of it. So the key with a multi-strat window is not packing it too full. Otherwise, you're just going to have a stream that's moving way too fast to make any sense out of. So the logical go-to there would be, okay, maybe you have 2 or 3 multi-strategy windows, but you're going to want to be very picky about what you put into those things. Otherwise, you're just going to have a data stream that's moving too fast.
Yep. No, you can't. No, you can only open trade ideas, Elena, at one login at a time. Now you can have it on as many devices as you want, but you can only just have only one login at a time, and that's for obvious reason. People could, you're welcome. You can welcome, share it with their friends or whatever. Perfect. And then we had one other question. I saw that I wanted to get to. I think I lost it. Oh, I want to talk about, yeah, mentioning you're seeing things in different, because what you're eventually going to end up doing, all right, you're going to see things like this momentum channel that has some, this Momo is a really popular alert, Extreme Master Blaster, and you're going to end up saving these things to your cloud. What you eventually want to do is you're going to build your default layout, and you want your main default layout to be this one, all caps with the underscore there, because this is the one that's going to open up every time you fire up trade ideas in the morning or in the evening, whenever you fire it up. So, so what you will do is you'll migrate some of the windows that you like over to your default layout, and then once you get it there, you'll find yourself going to the channels less. Nothing wrong. If you want to channel surf all day and look for opportunity, that's great. That's what we build it for people that maybe just don't know what they want to do, and it's fine. Come in here and go into Momo channel, go into, Alpha Predator. That's fine too. But eventually most people have their default layout and migrate their favorite or build their favorite alerts and windows inside it. All right, guys, we are getting down to the final minutes here. I do have to bring Scott in because he wants to give you guys a discount code. All right, so Great questions, everyone. Thank you for your participation. And man, Happy New Year. Glad to be back and seeing everybody, all the regulars and all the new people. So, Scott, if you want to come in and walk us out, that'd be great.
All right. Thanks, Andy. Sounds good. Thanks, everyone. Happy New Year to y'all. Make sure you check out our daily support sessions every trading day. There's a support session at 12 noon Eastern. Just go to trade-ideas.com/live and bookmark that page. And tune in. You can ask questions, check out the chat, watch what we're displaying, all kinds of good stuff. We always demonstrate new features there. Just go to another page, trade-ideas.com/earnings, to get a new ebook that helps you out when you're trading earnings season. It's got some great advice and a couple of strategies as cloud links within the document that you can download that you can just import directly into your layout and apply it immediately after you read about it. We've got a podcast. Search for Trade Ideas Podcast wherever you listen to your pods and add us as a subscription. And you'd be ready to catch the next one as soon as we release it. But do check out the ones that we released last year. We got some great interviews on there. Pretty interesting stuff. Worth your time. We got a code, Holly New Year. So that's going to save you this month. It's going to save you 15% off your first month of the year of Trade Ideas. You can also use that if you're going to upgrade from Standard to Premium. And you can find us on Twitter at Trade Ideas, also at QuantBot and at Today Trader. Facebook.com/Trade Ideas Pro is the Facebook page to follow. Send all your questions to info@tradeideas.com. That goes into our help desk software. And we're going to put up the recording of this webinar session tonight or tomorrow morning, and you get an email reminder tomorrow with a link to the playlist where you can find it. So thanks, everyone. Stay tuned for that. Thank you, Andy and Jamie. Have a good one.
Thank you, Scott. Thanks, everybody.
See you tomorrow.